Welcome to Jerry Recaps. Today we will be continuing part 15 of this manhwa. The story continues. Lu Sheng thought to himself. Next, it's time to prepare to go to Qiuming City. During this time, he flipped through the resource distribution map every day, combined it with the current map of Dongning Province, and finally found a suitable location. It is a small means storage area, located in Qiuming City, a few hundred kilometers away from Baihe City, hidden in a deep mountain. Back home, Lu Sheng booked the recent high-speed rail ticket from Baihe City to Qiuming City online, then quickly packed his luggage, sent a message to his family, and set off on the road to Qiuming City alone. Qiuming City, on a mountain road. On the travel bus called Xianlin Village, Qiuming City, 3 days and 2 nights tour group, a young and beautiful female tour guide was enthusiastically introducing the itinerary arrangement and scenic spot information to the tourists of the tour group. Xianlin Village is located in the depths of Nyoto Mountain, with beautiful scenery and far away from people. It is one of the few 5A-level scenic spots in Dongning Province. There, you can feel the warm and simple folk customs of the people of Xianlin Village, taste the unique traditional food of Xianlin Village, appreciate the quiet and magnificent scenery of Nyoto Mountain, and even have the opportunity to buy mysterious and exquisite Xianlin Village traditional handicrafts. The girl guide spoke spittle, but the tourists below were lacking in interest. Only a few ants in red travel hats listened earnestly, and occasionally asked a few questions. Will you force us to shop again? Where do we stay at night? Are there many mosquitoes in the mountains? The girl guide answered patiently one by one. Auntie, we are a conscientious travel agency and will not force you to spend. At night, we will live in a homestay in the stockade. The conditions are very good, with air conditioning and TV. There may be no signal in some places, but as long as you don't go too deep, you can ensure that the phone is unblocked. While the guide was talking, Lu Sheng was sitting quietly in a corner seat pondering over his thoughts and goals. A total of 93 nourishing marrow pills should be enough for me to use for a while. This is the result of Lu Sheng's more than a week, a total of more than 1 million. Equivalent to the average production cost of each nourishing pill is only more than 10,000 yuan. It is very conscientious. Lu Sheng's thoughts were interrupted as he noticed a yellow ball drop nearby. He looked over, and a cute little girl came to pick up her ball. Upon noticing Lu Sheng, she gave a cheerful smile as she said, "Big brother, can you play a game with me?" At that moment, a lady followed the little girl and picked her up. She was the girl's mother. She looked at her daughter saying, "Don't disturb others, be good and sit down." She looked at Lu Sheng and apologized for her daughter's mischief. But to Lu Sheng, the little girl was like her little sister Lu Qinghe, naughty and mischievous. Lu Sheng paid no mind to the girl's shenanigans. Just as Lu Shen was talking with the mother, he noticed something. Feeling the attention, the husband of the middle-aged couple raised his eyes and looked at the Lu Sheng. The middle-aged man's eyes seemed to contain some kind of powerful aura. Looking at the dress temperament of the family of 3, he immediately marked the other party as not ordinary people in his heart. To think I am not the only psychic mentalist in this tour group. In the back row of the bus, a girl with silver earrings, sunglasses, and a pink tight-fitting short sleeve howled, venting her dissatisfaction. A beautiful girl with long straight green hair, a beautiful face, and a quiet temperament sitting next to her withdrew her gaze towards the scenery outside the window and said softly, "I didn't let you come, you followed me here." The girl with pink hair replied angrily, "Please, it's because you broke up in love. I'm afraid you can't think of going to the mountains and forests alone. I'm worried about how well you are, the eldest sister. Your kindness is like a donkey's liver and lungs." "Okay, I know your best heart." The long-haired girl patted the hand of the girl with sunglasses and coaxed with a smile, "Don't worry, I'm not that vulnerable. I just haven't come out for a long time, so I took this opportunity to relax. This tour group is a little short, but the scenery of Nyoto Mountain is still good, and you will not regret it." "You won't regret it," the girl with pink hair muttered, but her eyes unconsciously glanced in one direction. There came the cheerful laugh of the little girl giggling, looking extremely happy. The long-haired girl looked over and saw a middle-aged couple sitting in the back row of the bus. "Take me a smash." At this time, a gentle and clear voice attracted the attention of the girl. She followed the sound and saw the scene where the boy in the penultimate row playing a ball game with the little girl raising an arm and gently knocking out the plastic ball. The boy was wearing a white lapel t-shirt, and the movement of raising his hand perfectly showed the shapely and strong muscle lines on his arms. Coupled with the clean, handsome, fair, and tough profile of the other party, he looked like a male protagonist who came out of a cartoon. Even the long-haired girl looked in a trance for a moment. Only then did she know what her best friend had been secretly watching. "I'll pick it up for you." At this time, the girl in sunglasses who had been observing for a long time finally couldn't hold back her inner turmoil. She leaned back and stretched out her hand to stop the ball played by the handsome boy. She began to join the ball-tossing game between the boy and the little girl. The long-haired girl shook her head hilariously. Lu Xing, upon receiving the ball, thanked her with a gentle smile, but the girl got flustered even more. She turned her head and continued to stare at the hurried scenery outside the window, no longer paying attention to this side. Her friend with green hair teased her about getting infatuated with a boy. The bus staggered along the mountain road for more than 2 hours and finally stopped in a quite lively cottage. A group of people got off the bus one after another under the command of the girl tour guide. "It doesn't look very good. Can this be regarded as a 5-level scenic spot?" The pink hair got out of the car, glanced at the colorful, not modern, ancient cottage, and muttered. The long-haired girl explained, "This is just where we live. The places with good scenery are all in the mountains. You will know when you enter the mountains tomorrow. I heard that there is a big waterfall. As long as you like it." The pink-haired girl responded and immediately turned her head to look around. Not long after, she saw a tall and straight, handsome boy with a backpack and a suitcase getting out of the car. Behind the boy was an extraordinary family of 3. The little girl hadn't enjoyed the ball-tossing game just now. She got out of the car and ran to grab the boy's hand, and said coquettishly, "Big brother, will you play with Nan tomorrow?" The boy leaned down and smiled and touched the little girl's head, nodded, and said, "Okay, I'll play with you tomorrow if I have a chance." The little girl nodded happily. At this time, the pink-haired girl came up and said, "Tomorrow, this sister will play with you along with your brother, okay?" "Don't want." The little girl made a face at the girl with sunglasses and shouted, "Bad sister is always grabbing Nanan's ball. Nanan doesn't want to play with you. Nanan just wants to play with my brother." The middle-aged couple smiled and looked at the little girl dotingly, and called the little girl over to enter the village. The little girl said her goodbyes and left with her parents. While the girl trying to touch the top of the little girl's head froze, and her fair and pretty face was filled with embarrassment instantly. "I'm still not happy to play with you, little brat." The pink-haired girl muttered in the direction where the family of 3 left, looked at the handsome boy standing alone, rolled her eyes, pulled the long-haired girl's arm, and walked towards him. "Hey handsome, can you add a friend?" The pink-haired girl took out her mobile phone and said to the boy with a smile. The handsome boy hesitated for a moment, then nodded in agreement. "It is good." Soon the two added each other as friends on social software, and even the long-haired girls also added them together. "Lu Xing." The pink-haired girl read it out to the phone and said with a smile, "This name is domineering. Okay, handsome guy, I won't bother you anymore, see you later." The pink-haired girl upon leaving mumbled to her friend, "You added him too. I thought this trip would be boring. Looks like it's going to be interesting." She was quite happy to make acquaintance with Lu Xing. Lu Xing nodded to the two of them and watched them leave. When the pink-haired girl and the girl with long hair left, the smile on Lu Xing's face disappeared little by little, and his eyes gradually became sharper. In a few breaths, his temperament changed from being harmless to humans and animals to cold and unpredictable. "Interesting, I can still meet a spiritual teacher here." Lu Xing glanced in the direction the middle-aged couple's family left before. The destination of Lu Xing's trip was in the depths of Ox Mountain. Because he was not familiar with the place of life, it was inconvenient for him to be alone, so he simply signed up for a tour group to Nitushan. Then there was the scene before. To Lu Xing's surprise, there were 2 official warriors and a second-level spiritual teacher hidden in this small tour group of only 30 people. The 2 girls who just befriended him. The one with pink hair is called Jingdandan, and the one with long straight hair is called Lin Zishan. Especially Lin Zishan, who is still a second-level warrior. And the little girl in the red dress who just held his hand, her father, the elegant middle-aged man, is a rare second-level spiritual teacher. But he shouldn't have discovered my identity. At best he can only feel that I have practiced martial arts. Lu Xing is still very confident about this. After forming the prototype of the master's will, Lu Xing's spiritual power was highly concentrated, and it collapsed into the golden sun in the core of his brain. As long as he doesn't take the initiative to release it, ordinary people won't be able to discover the fact that his mental power is strong. No matter what the purpose of these people coming to Oxhead Mountain, as long as it doesn't interfere with my purpose if it happens to interfere. Lu Xing calmly said to himself, that can only be squeezed to death. With that said, Lu Xing dragged his suitcase and walked in the direction of the cottage. At the same time, on the highway hundreds of kilometers away from Xianlin village, a stretched car was galloping. Inside the luxurious carriage, a middle-aged man in a purple plaid casual suit was sitting casually in the back seat. The middle-aged man has snow-white skin, a cold temperament, and a pair of eyes that are eerily lavender, making his originally ordinary facial features a bit more sinister charm. In front of the man, a bottle of red wine was suspended in the air, and the red wine was slowly poured into the wine glass. The middle-aged man lifted the wine glass and shook it gently in front of him, sniffed the aroma emanating from the wine glass, and said, "How is it? Have you found Tang Maolin's whereabouts?" Only then did he notice that there was a man kneeling in front of the middle-aged man. He was a burly man, and the muscles on his arms propped up his suit. "It's been found. It's in Oxhead Mountain in Xiaoming City. Tang Maolin took his wife and daughter. It is estimated that he is going to enter the mountain." The brawny man in a suit replied with a respectful tone. The middle-aged man frowned slightly. Tang Maolin has some brains. If he really plunges into the deep mountains and old forest and doesn't come out, I really have nothing to do with him. Don't worry, my lord, we have already sent people to watch them. Even if he really intends to be a savage, I promise to find out exactly which cave he is nesting in. The strong man replied confidently. The middle-aged man glanced at the strong man with admiration, nodded, and said, "Well done, you just need to keep an eye on him. When I arrive at Oxhead Mountain, I will naturally take action myself." Although Tang Maolin is only a small character, he is a second-level spiritual teacher after all. You 2 fourth-level warriors are not his opponents. Tang Maolin, don't blame me for being cruel. The middle-aged man took a sip of his wine glass and said to himself, "This time you offended me, I won't kill you. Others will think that Wu Shijing is easy to bully, and more people will come in the future. Offend me, even stepping on my head." The man reached out his hand toward a young girl sitting beside him. The girl raised her head, she had red eyes, and it seemed like she was being mind-controlled. Suddenly, something even crazier happened. A purple color liquid came out of the girl's eyes. It started flowing out of every pore on her face and started flowing in a direction. The liquid then accumulated in the glass of the middle-aged man. He sniffed the fluid that came out of the girl's body and spoke to himself, accompanied by the innocent feelings of love. It exudes the unique aura of someone in their 20s. The girl sat there dazedly, without even being able to resist. It seemed like the man was taking her life essence for his joy. The man holds a picture in his hand saying, "Tang Maolin, so you brought your daughter along. Looks like there is going to be another addition to my collection." The man had a sinister smile on his face as he finished speaking. At the same time, the couple with their little girl booked a room. As they entered the room, the little girls started running here and there in excitement. Run slowly, the floor is uneven, be careful not to fall. The middle-aged beautiful woman followed behind the little girl and warned with concern. Beside her, the elegant middle-aged man walked into the room. A strange light flashed in his eyes. The invisible force spread out, instantly covering the entire room. The light then enveloped the whole building, analyzing every part of it. After a while, the light in the man's eyes disappeared, and he said, "There is no surveillance and no tracker, this room is very clean." The beautiful woman coaxed the little girl into bed, turned her head, and said softly, "You are too cautious." Then even if Wu Shijing is powerful in Baoding, can he still reach out to this Ox-Head Mountain? "Take you and Nan Nan, there is nothing wrong with being careful," the elegant man said solemnly. "Don't forget that we are running for our lives now. Wu Shijing is a long-established third-level spiritual master, nicknamed the Purple-Eyed Demon Spider. If you offend him, there will be revenge. I hope we can successfully escape his investigation this time. As long as we hide in Xianlin village for a year and a half, we should be fine. If he is really caught up by him, with your dad around, the two of us will join forces and we might be able to deal with him." Of course, that was the worst possible outcome. "Hey, I hope it goes smoothly and safely." The beautiful woman sighed softly and said, "I haven't seen my father for a long time, and I don't know how he is." The elegant man's eyes became gentle, and he stepped forward and hugged the beautiful woman gently, comforting softly, "Your father's martial arts cultivation is not weak, he is still a second-level peak spiritual teacher. Maybe he is now third level, and he is in his prime. What can be wrong with the body? Don't worry, I will definitely not let you and Nan Nan get hurt." The beautiful woman nodded and leaned lightly on the elegant man's chest, feeling a little relieved. Not far away, the little girl in a red dress was standing on the bed holding a plastic ball, giggling. Lu Xing walked into the homestay room that the travel agency had arranged for him, and went straight toward the window. As Lu Xing looked around, he released his psychic energy to scan the whole area. His psychic energy was so strong that it was able to cover up the whole village. Lu Xing analyzed each and every person in the village to look for anyone suspicious, who could be a threat to his activity for mining minerals in Ox-Head Mountain. As he scanned the whole area, he only noticed one man on surveillance who was focusing on someone else. Apart from that person who is on surveillance, nothing seems out of the ordinary. But since he is not bothering me, I will just leave him be. Lu Xing spoke to himself. He tidied up a little and took out a glass vial from his pocket. The bottle contained a dozen small pills. Lu Xing poured out one on his hand. He then threw it into his mouth. Feeling that the nourishing marrow pill was split open in the body, it turned into a stream of heat that rushed to the limbs and bones, and he began to practice the movements on the stellar body refinement technique. This process continued. Lu Xing stopped. Feeling that the qi and blood value have increased, the progress of the immortal golden body's muscles and bones has also moved forward for a while, and Lu Xing has a satisfied smile on his face. With the help of medicinal pills, it is indeed much faster. At this rate, it is estimated that within 2 months, I will be able to completely complete the first stage of cultivation of the immortal golden body, generate internal energy, and officially step into the ranks of 4th-level warriors. Lu Xing went into the bathroom to take a shower. After walking out, he picked up his phone to check. The parting messages he sent to his family were all answered. Father Lu Dehai and Mother Jing Yufan, as usual, told him to be careful when going out alone, pay attention to changing clothes, be careful not to eat bad stomachs, and so on. In their eyes he, a third-level warrior, seems to be just a child. The younger sister Lu Qinghe replied, "You ran out to play again?" With a smile on Lu Xing's face, he replied with a smug expression. "Sister Yang Yuan also went back to school today, and would like to invite you to dinner." Lu Qinghe responded in seconds. "To be honest, are you two in love?" Lu Xing thought for a while and replied. He was quite furious. "Concentrate on your own martial arts, and forget about other people's affairs. Remember to take those tonics I left for you every day. If your blood value has not exceeded 1.3 when I come back, then you can kill yourself to thank the world." After waiting for a while, Lu Qinghe replied. Lu Xing shook his head and didn't reply. Before he left Lu Qinghe 20 bottles of spiritual muscle strong blood soup, plus the exotic animal meat in the refrigerator at home. In terms of cultivation conditions, Lu Qinghe is almost on par with kids from rich families. As long as she works a little harder, her blood value will exceed 1.3. Lu Xing thought about tomorrow's plan and then began to practice stellar body refinement technique. Wait until the last trace of physical strength is drained by the stellar body refinement technique, and then enter the dream space. Let me test out the results of my training from the past few days. Comprehending the master technique of 10 suns in the same sky and forming the prototype of the master's will, Lu Xing's self-confidence was somewhat inflated. He treads through the dream space effortlessly, killing zombies over zombies. After forming the martial master force field, nothing was able to harm Lu Xing in any way. He had become an unstoppable power that no one would be able to stop. There was a blast of his fiery qi everywhere, burning all the zombies that became obstacles in his way of moving forward. All along, Lu Xing's exploration of the dream space has been smooth. After entering the advanced map several times, you can use your calmness and wit to play those dull advanced monsters in the palm of your hand. So much so that he didn't realize it himself, and subconsciously, he was already a little floating. Grinding to death the master-level zombie Sheng and obtaining Sheng's martial arts treasure made this fluttering to a climax. As he moved forward in the central area, he noticed a chilly aura filling the whole area. Something flew from the sky and landed in front of him. Whatever it was, due to the landing the intense spiritual aura released froze the whole place. Lu Xing was confused. He stood there dazedly as he looked in front of him trying to understand the situation. He could feel an overwhelming aura coming from that direction. The whole was covered with ice crystals. This place was located 2 streets next to where Grandmaster Sheng was found. Moments later, someone came out of the ice crystals. It was a female zombie with its whole body similar to an alive human. But the other side of the face looks like a zombie. The zombie waved its hand, which created a gust of chilly air. Wearing a Grandmaster battle armor similar to Sheng's, and holding a broken spear weapon, her body is well proportioned and perfect, just like the Valkyrie in ancient mythology. Lu Xing realized that he had trespassed into another martial master-level zombie. This zombie was unlike Sheng. This Valkyrie Grandmaster, the fighting consciousness left in her body. It was just too much. When Lu Xingkai approached the Valkyrie Grandmaster within 100 meters, she was discovered by her. Then Lu Xing lost sight of the other party. In an instant, Lu Xing felt countless red exclamation marks light up around him, accompanied by a rapid and harsh alarm. When he thought of releasing his mental power, he finally sensed the figure of the other party. But at this time, the Valkyrie Grandmaster had already reached him within 5 meters in front of him. Lu Xing was stunned in his place, unable to move even an inch. Before Lu Xing could react, he was shot by the Valkyrie Grandmaster in seconds. Before death, Lu Xing saw a majestic character in front of him, and his body turned into a bright and majestic glacier. Too strong. Lu Xing was deeply shocked. He finally overturned. The consequence of the rollover is that Lu Xing retreats from the dream space in seconds. It was like waking up suddenly from a nightmare, flustered and with a splitting headache. It feels like my body has actually been torn apart. That's all for today. If you like the next part of this manhwa, just comment below. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment for getting epic content on this channel. See you next time.